Hi, my name is Riley, and today I'll be going over Case Study 7, The Commoditization of Starbucks. Case Study 7 explores how Starbucks lost its originality and how Howard Schultz planned to get Starbucks back to a more intimate experience. The first Starbucks was originally opened in Pike Place Market in Seattle, Washington, April 1971. The original owners of this Starbucks were Jerry Baldwin and Gordon Bowker. They both shared a similar passion for dark roast coffee and tea, and they wanted to make their dreams become a vision and open the first Starbucks. When Starbucks first opened, they did not brew or sell coffee by the cup. Instead of brewing and selling coffee, they offered 30 different varieties of whole bean coffee. Although Jerry Baldwin and Gordon Bowker had great success selling their different varieties of whole bean coffee in the Pike Place Market, they were missing something. They were missing that experience that customers wanted, and that's kind of where Howard Schultz comes into play. He took this Starbucks coffee and made it a vision and made it something real and created an experience for customers. And here we have a picture taken in 1971 of the partners working together to sell whole beans to the local customers. Schultz had always had big plans to expand Starbucks. He said originally that he was going to open 125 stores within 5 years. And what happened was in 1988, he opened 15 stores, and in 1989, he opened 20 more. And then by the time 1992 rolled around, he had opened 165 stores. So Howard Schultz was seeing all of this growth and was building his customer loyalty and was having great success with opening these new Starbucks locations. He started to worry about with all this expansion that the intimate experience would be lost. Here are some pictures of the intimate Starbucks experience I'm talking about. Here you can see pictures of Starbucks employees interacting with the customers. You can even see a picture of Howard Schultz talking to Starbucks employees and people just sitting down and having a cup of coffee and studying together and catching up. He was worried that we would lose this and that Starbucks would become more of like a McDonald's drive-through type of restaurant, and that's not what he wanted. He wanted Starbucks to remain an intimate experience and treat customers like family. Starbucks' vision is to be the most respected, recognized, highest quality coffee brand in the world. And it doesn't just stop with coffee. Starbucks has completely evolved and diversified their menu. They have started making different handcrafted drinks. We saw that with the Frappuccino years ago. The Frappuccino really appealed to the non-coffee drinkers and was a huge success. Starbucks also started offering food options such as desserts like brownies and scones and lemon bread, stuff like that, with breakfast sandwiches or a wrap for your lunch or different types of paninis and presses and sandwiches. In these pictures, you can see people drinking the different Frappuccinos and enjoying them, which was kind of like the start to this Starbucks revolution of different drinks and food. You also see the Starbucks in a grocery store and an airport because Starbucks started to expand into grocery stores, airports, and partnered with Apple and AT&T. They also started making their own merch, selling their own travel cups, shirts, stuff like that. Going back to the intimacy of Starbucks, They originally partnered with Apple and AT&T so that they could provide the best source of like entertainment slash Wi-Fi for their customers. They wanted their customers to have a place to work and enjoy a fresh cup of coffee while using the free Wi-Fi. As for the work environment of Starbucks, Schultz really wanted to treat his employees like they were family, like they were an asset to this company, and he really wanted to have them grow with the company and be successful. When Schultz was a young boy, his father was a factory worker and his mother was a receptionist, and he remembered growing up and seeing how hard they worked for such a low wage. So it was really important to Schultz that he offered a higher wage than other restaurants and really paid his workers fairly and gave them health benefits for both full-time and part-time workers. Because Schultz saw how his parents struggled working hard at these low-paying jobs and not getting the compensation that they deserved, he didn't want to do that to his employers. He wanted to treat them like family, and he wanted to honor them and have them grow with the company. And by doing this, he offered a higher wage than any other restaurant. He offered benefits that weren't available anywhere else, and he made sure that all employees in the company were eligible for stock options. And he made sure to educate his employees and to empower them on the importance of profits and becoming a shareholder in the company, and wanted to just give them all the skills that they needed to become an essential element to this workforce. Schultz knew that by empowering his workers and making sure that they were successful, that he would not only better their lives, but better his operation and create a low turnover rate, because the happier your employees are at your company, the longer they're going to want to stay there and invest in the company. So he thought it was really important to also invest in his employees. Starbucks' original mission was to be the most recognized, well-respected brand in the world. And they did that. They achieved that. Starbucks saw worldwide success. They had essentially achieved their mission, and they opened more than 15,000 stores worldwide and expanded their brand across 35 different countries, and they had great success. So the question is, how did Starbucks fulfill their mission and find such great success? Starbucks fulfilled its mission and found great success because Howard Schultz put such an emphasis on the guiding principles of having a welcoming, respectful environment and embracing and appreciating diversity, having the highest product standards, contributing positively to the community. And these guiding principles positively impact the community and the world. Since Starbucks' presence is international, it is so important that the company is determined to be successful while providing a positive work environment where employees can grow with the company. Starbucks also has become more eco-friendly with their reusable cups and their travel cups, and they've kind of put that in their merch and marketed that to the millennials and the Gen Zs who are really committed to helping and not hurting the environment. So they put more of a focus on the environmental appeal as well. So as you can see, the Starbucks mission is about contributing and giving back to the community. These pictures show that, Starbucks understands our home is your home. We now offer access to restroom facilities, charging stations, and Wi-Fi to all, no purchase necessary. They want to give back to the community and give them a safe place to have a cup of coffee or use free Wi-Fi or use a bathroom and to connect with other people. You can also see that it says to inspire and nurture the human spirit, one person, one cup, and one neighborhood at a time. And then you see a picture of these two Starbucks employees with buckets of food to give to the local food bank. And all of this just shows the empathy and compassion that Starbucks has for its community, which is great for customer loyalty, and refers back to Howard Schultz's idea of creating an intimate Starbucks connection. Starbucks is committed to helping the environment. They have a partnership with the Center of Environmental Leadership in Business, and they actively work to find sustainable methods for their coffee production. Like I mentioned earlier, Starbucks started to use reusable packaging and the travel cups, and really was trying to reach their, millennial Gen Z audience and give them that environmental appeal that they were looking for, because they do care about the environment and what products Starbucks is using. Starbucks does hold itself to a high standard and wants to make sure that their customers are satisfied and heard. So, in response to these demands that they were receiving from social and environmental groups, they tried to make a more plant-based menu and make reusable packaging and manage their waste and just become more eco-friendly and do right by the environment. Starbucks partnered with Conservation International to promote environmentally positive ways to grow coffee beans. They also expanded the conservation coffee program in Central America, Peru, and Colombia, which just goes to show how socially responsible Starbucks is. Even though they have Starbucks brands worldwide, they want to make sure that all of their Starbucks brands worldwide are practicing sustainable practices and reducing their carbon footprint. Transformations Schultz had. He wanted to make sure that his employees were taken care of and treated like family. He empowered them with education. He made them shareholders of the company. He paid them a higher wage. He offered health benefits. He did all of these things to make sure that his employees were growing with the success of the company, and really realigned that leadership structure. He also refocused on the customer experience in the stores by taking Starbucks back to the basics. He wanted to make sure that he was giving back to the community and creating a loyal customer base and having meaningful connections in the Starbucks stores, because when Starbucks originally opened, it was a place for people to go have a fresh cup of coffee and sit down with friends and talk to their baristas like it was an experience. And he really felt like things became more fast-paced, almost like a McDonald's drive-thru, and kind of wanted to take Starbucks back to that intimate, romantic feeling. Schultz also wanted to stop opening new Starbucks locations, close the underperforming Starbucks locations, and just focus on the well-performing locations, put new products, new store design, new training, create that intimate environment and that emotional connection, and get Starbucks back to the basics. So the main idea here, stated on page 571 in the text, Schultz believed that in order to build respect and confidence with customers, the company first had to build respect and confidence with employees. Howard saw this benefit as a part of his core strategy. Treat people like family, and they will be loyal and give their all. Stand by people, and they will stand by you. In conclusion, Case Study 7, The Commoditization of Starbucks, explores how Starbucks lost its originality and how Howard Schultz got Starbucks back to its core values, and how he recreated that intimate experience again that we've all been wanting. And it explores all of the success in his strategies over the years and how he expanded his company to 35 different countries and opened 15,000 stores, all by, treating the customers and the employees like family and getting back to that core value of empathy, compassion, and community.